Welcome back to Burning River Bushcraft. Look what I got here. This is the winter quarterly box from the Nomadik. The Nomadik is an outdoor-based subscription service. They have monthly as well as these big quarterly boxes, and they take the time to curtail the latest outdoor gear and ship it right to your doorstep. Now, Nomadik themes their boxes, and this is the Emergency Prep Kit A. So let's pop it open. Now, with any of these boxes, there's going to be a pamphlet in here. And you're going to want to find that pamphlet and take a look at that first. I always open these things and I see something cool and I want to dive right into that. Take the time to find the pamphlet first. And right on top, there's the pamphlet for the Emergency Prep Kit. So the pamphlet's going to go over everything that's inside the box. There's Nomadik tips, there's challenges, and there's brand discounts as well. That box is absolutely jam-packed. I don't think I've ever seen one that full before. So right on top, we've got the Life Straw Peak Series Gravity Water Filter System. I am a huge fan of these gravity systems, especially in a group camp setting. 3 liters is huge. That is a lot of water to have access to. And you can take the filter off this. You can use this as intended with a gravity system at camp. You can also just screw that right onto the end of a regular water bottle, or you can drink right out of the source. You can definitely see the theme this month. Next up is a Sagan Aqua brick. So you can use this to keep food or water, for that matter. This would work equally well for rice or beans. Convenient size. So this is carryable. Sometimes it's easy to get carried away and start putting stuff in huge drums, and you're just barely able to roll it around a basement, let alone take it with you in an emergency or actually use it. So a couple different carry handle positions. Digging that. And it's kind of got this Lego interlocking system. So this is something, once you start stacking these, you really don't have to worry about a tip over. They kind of lock together. The size on this Aqua brick is 3 gallons. So that's a pretty good compromise. That is a substantial amount of food or water, and it actually keeps the weight down so that really any member of your house can move this around. Next up, we're getting into some first aid. Here is a Durum Sport liquid bandage. Now, I've never seen anything like this before. This is pretty cool. This dries in 30 seconds. This would make an excellent addition to really any home first aid kit. Sticking with the first aid theme, from my medic, I've got a burn medical pack. So any type of camping trip I'm involved in, I'm going to have a fire of some type around, and a burn is just something that's inevitable. It's going to happen, and to be able to treat that and keep your wounds from getting infected can really save a trip. Now, this is small enough that I would put this in my canoe barrel for a longer trip, but the size of this is pretty substantial. This is actually be nice for a home medical kit as well. Again, for my medic, I've got a hiker med kit. Now, I've actually got one of these, and I do carry this on my trip. This is my main first aid kit when I'm on a larger trip. And this thing's loaded right here. I've got sunscreen, lip balm, burn gel, alcohol wipes, fabric bandages. I can deal with blisters. I've got an emergency space blanket. I can deal with electrolytes. It's really an all-in-one system, and I have not got into mine yet. I leave mine sealed in case of an emergency, and I've been able to deal with any problems I've had without breaking into this. But this is a great security blanket to have with you. All the first aid items in the box have been great to have with you, but this is the number one right here. This is from Rapid Medical. This is a tourniquet. Now, you can deal with a minor burn or an infection on a cut, but this is really important here. If you are bleeding and you can't stop it, you're going to die. And it's just that simple. And a tourniquet, as small as this is and as compact as this is an absolute lifesaver. You can improvise stuff, but do you really want to try to bushcraft up a tourniquet in the field? And I love the size of this, and I love the color of this. Nothing else in this box is this bright red color. Nothing else in my first aid kit is this bright red color. So when I see this, I can rip it open, deploy my tourniquet, and save my life or somebody with me. Next up, I have a small tin of live fire, and I have used this brand before, and I can definitely vouch for it. This will get a fire going, and you can not just use this in an emergency. If you've got a twig stove or if you're just camping, this is going to get a fire going. Personally, I would reserve this. This is a small about perfect size tin for your emergency kit. And with this and a fire starting device of any type, I can almost guarantee that you're going to have a fire. From Ace Camp, I have a pocket survival wire saw. Now these things get a bad rap, and you're not going to get a bad rap from me on these things. These are actually really awesome. People don't know how to use them. People will stick their fingers right through these keychains and they'll start trying to saw through a small branch, and you're not taking a full stroke on a saw. You're going to overheat a little area and then they break it and they're never going to use a wire saw again. You can use these and make a bow saw. You can put this in a buck saw frame as well. For the size this takes up, this absolutely will build you a shelter. This is going to let you cut firewood. It's going to let you cut wood to be able to access to split it to get to the dry center of it. So for the size of this, really any small pocket tin needs a saw of some type, and a wire saw like this is the absolute easiest to use. From Karmic Outdoor, I've got a high Viz Decal. So this has a QR code. So I can attach this to my canoe barrel or my pack or my canoe. And once I register this, if somebody finds it downriver, they're able to at least get my information and get that stuff back to me. It may not be in time to save my trip, but this is kind of important stuff, especially if you're somebody that likes to float down rivers and across rough open bodies of water as much as I do. Something like this on my canoe barrel, or really anything that's going to stay afloat in the water, is going to get recovered by somebody sometime, and with this sticker, there's a pretty good chance I can get it back. Now I carry a cold pack in all of my wilderness first aid kits, and this one's from Warrior Ice. Now that's going to be my first prevention of a sprain, is to put ice on it, to rest it, to elevate it, to hope the swelling goes down so that I can deal with my trip. And ice like this really can be a game saver. This can just control your swelling and make your trip a whole lot more bearable. Now I do have a lot of survival gear, but I don't have any like this. This is from SOS Labs, and these are drinking water packets. Each one of those pouches is 125 milliliters, and this would be especially important if you needed to irrigate a wound and you didn't have time to process water, or if you were in a true emergency and had nothing else to drink. This could definitely keep you going. Now with the Nomadik, you know you're going to be getting a sticker for sure. So I like the color, and you can see the little first aid kit in the front. Very timely. Now if you're interested in a big box like this or their monthly subscription service, I am a Nomadik affiliate. You can go ahead and use my link. You can head over there and sign up. Now I really love the box, and it's not just straight prepper items that I'm going to store away and hopefully never use. This is stuff that I could use and probably will use on some of my backcountry trips. The gravity filter like this is absolutely great. This beats the heck out of scooping water up one bottle at a time and trying to process it. You've got water for camp, and then I'm able to take this filter off. I've got items in there that I can replenish my first aid kit. I've got fire gear, I've got survival gear, and prepper gear as well. So if this is the kind of thing you like, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment in the comment box, and ring the bell to be notified of my latest videos. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at burningriverbushcraft. I also teach outdoor classes at outdoorcore.com. Now, if you watch the news, you realize that the world's getting to be a silly place, and it just makes sense to have a prepared kit at home. And a box like this is going to take care of all that for you. And it happens to be on sale right now, actually. So if you're watching this video, the chances of it still being on sale is really good. Until next time, this has been Jamie Boggs with Burning River Bushcraft. See you soon.